Jack Sprat could eat no fat. His wife could eat no lean. But were either of them really better off than the other one? And just because Jack wasn't eating fat, does that mean his cholesterol was sure to be better than his wife's? Well, we'll answer these questions and more as we dive into the world of lipids. People often confuse the term lipid with fat, which is easy to do since lipids are any naturally occurring molecules that dissolve in fat. Lipids are actually a broad category of molecules, including oils, some vitamins, and hormones. So we need fats to survive. Good news for Jack's wife.
Cholesterol is involved in the structure of our cell wall to keep the wall intact. Cholesterol is involved in some of the hormones that we have. The estrogens, testosterone, all have some cholesterol in it, as well as many other enzymes in the body.
But of course, lipids also have a dark side.
Triglycerides is another kind of lipid that more is related to sweets and cake and candies and cookies. Because it's related to sugar, it's some of the energy that we need from day to day just to get through the day. That's a risk, but the bigger risk is the saturated fat and the cholesterol that leads to the lipids that build up in our bloodstream that are a potential risk.
We're all born with some cholesterol, but it's also a natural component of most animal products like meat, cheese, or eggs. In Western society, where these foods are a major part of our diets, we're eating more lipids than our bodies need to keep the cells healthy. And all that excess lipid is not metabolized or excreted well by the body. Bad news for Mrs. Sprat. She's looking at some potentially serious health problems.
Our body will store some of that excess cholesterol, will store some of that excess triglyceride and fat. The health problem, even more, is that if some of the fats, some of the cholesterol, some of the triglycerides is not just stored in fat, but actually begins to be deposited in the walls of our blood vessels, that's where it becomes truly potentially unhealthy and can lead to the risks of hardening of the arteries in terms of heart attack, in terms of stroke, and that's where our body is not properly storing excess of fat in the bloodstream.
Well, that seems like an easy thing to solve. Just cut out all those foods that are high in cholesterol. But like most medical issues, it's not that simple. And diet isn't the whole story. Watching your diet can control 15 to 20% of your cholesterol levels. But the majority of cholesterol, up to 80%, is actually manufactured by the body. So while a strict diet may make the numbers on your scale go down, it doesn't guarantee a similar movement for your cholesterol numbers. So even that lean Jack Sprat isn't completely safe. Well, when dietary efforts don't work, we can turn to a class of medications called statins.
There are enzyme pathways in the liver that produce cholesterol. And the Nobel Prize was won 25, 30 years ago for understanding those enzyme pathways that contribute to cholesterol metabolism, the manufacturing of cholesterol. And these statin medications coming out in the mid-1980s were really a revolutionary invention that interfered with the liver's ability to manufacture cholesterol, and very significantly and safely interfere with the liver's ability to manufacture cholesterol. And that has helped dramatically lower the bad LDL cholesterol, which over now almost 30 years of data has shown to drastically reduce our risk of atherosclerosis, or hardening of the arteries. Not just heart attacks, but strokes as well.
Despite the effectiveness of cholesterol statin medications, there's still some trepidation in the general public about their safety. I mean, come on, we've all seen those ads on TV that list increasingly worrisome side effects like upset stomach, muscle aches, blurred vision, and pale-colored stool. I bet you're experiencing 2 or 3 just thinking about it. But there have been more research studies on these medications over the past 25 years than on any other medicine. So their ability to reduce the risk of heart attack and stroke safely is well documented, and maybe even worth some of those odd side effects. I'll take pale-colored stool over a stroke any day. I'm Dr. Keller Wortham, and you're watching the eHealth Network. Go ahead, lick the platters clean, but try to find a compromise.